It was a national event. The fact that it was sort of rallied on Facebook and they all came together meant that it was covered across the country.
These are people who've got together and are unhappy about what's happening with their university.
So there was a lot of milling around to start with. Across the road at the Union, someone was selling some hot coffee, so it was quite cold.
Very relaxed, casual atmosphere. There was a stand where people were picking up placards from.
So you see people protesting down at the Senedd or in other areas of Cardiff. They tend to be of an older demographic. What struck me first was their age group, definitely.
We were well aware of the demonstration taking place. We'd linked in with our university colleagues in relation to anticipated numbers. We had a rough idea that there would be about 100 to 200 people.
A girl with a megaphone started chanting, no ifs, no buts, no to education cuts. Then the police presence started to increase a little bit.
Obviously then the nature of the protest changed. It wasn't standing outside the gates and chanting, it was standing outside the Vice-Chancellor's office and chanting, which is obviously a little bit different.
There was a sort of surge of the crowd. They literally ran pretty much towards the main building. It really did feel like that, the crowd had surged and they were on a mission.
I think they knew that something like that would happen. The Vice-Chancellor wasn't there. Security were briefed on it. The police were obviously briefed on it. I think they could have stopped them at the door, but I think they realised that would probably cause more problems than if they let them in, made their point in the building, and then move into the lecture theatre as they had planned.
There appeared to be a lot of first-year students taking part in the demonstration, possibly their first demonstration away from home and what have you. Positive feedback, in fairness to the majority. They seemed to enjoy it, got their message across.
And the chanting was viciously loud. People started to continue to rally the crowd, sort of voicing their opinions on why they were protesting and what they wanted from the Vice-Chancellor as well, which was to engage in a debate.
They decided to go on a march, quickly liaise with me. They explained their sort of intentions, which was nice, which gave us the heads up. Obviously we're talking a march around Cardiff.
Yeah, people were out on their lunch break. All these students suddenly came marching through the centre, and that probably boosted the students' right to coverage. Then you get people coming back to the workplace going, these students are out on the street protesting. It's not just in London, it's here as well. And
generally a bit bemused, but they seemed, quite happy with it, and, there wasn't any anger, and some people joined the throng and others sort of stepped back and let them pass. So
they took them down Park Place, along Greyfriars, onto Queen Street, round, back up again, and it had the feeling of some sort of bizarre school outing. That's how it felt when you were walking along.
It was quite obvious that they weren't there to cause any disruption or violence, so the police felt they were quite on top of it and prepared.
And I think that's the big difference between this one and what happened in London.
I would anticipate there would be an increase in the demonstrations and perhaps more tenacity with the students and the organisers to say that it's really affected us now, guys, come out and join us.
It's the quickest way to get a news desk's attention is, hang on, there's a mob of 300 people marching down Queen Street with placards.
I think it's important for any demonstration to take ownership of what the people are demonstrating for and just keep an eye on those individuals who sometimes try to hijack any demonstration for their own purposes.
People going out to make their point that they're unhappy about this or that. We live in a democracy, and that's the way it should be.